So, back here with another mock draft. Today it is NFL. Um, yeah. Uh, just to clarify, not that well of a ball knower, so if I make some stupid picks, don't flame me. But we're gonna start this draft. I think it's pretty simple. Fernando Mendoza, first pick. They need a QB, and it's pretty much been reported since Fernando Mendoza blew up and they got the first pick. So, yeah, pretty easy pick. Then number 2, the Jets. I have a top 4 that I think is going to stay the same unless something weird happens. So I'm going to choose Arvell Reese here. I've had like these here, let me just get it out the way. I've had these 3. These are like my top 3. I think this is going to go down no matter what, unless their front office just does something like completely, that didn't even cross my mind. So, yeah. But with the 4th pick, the Tennessee Titans. Now, I've been between Ruben Bain, Jeremiah Love. They could even go David Bailey here, but do they really take Love? Do they really take Love? Or could they take Ruben Bain, because they do need an edge rusher terribly bad. I mean, that defense was terrible last season, but their offense is also terrible, and Cam Ward cannot do it all. He cannot. So I think Jeremiah Love's gonna go to the Titans here. They need they need offense terribly for Cam Ward, and I think this is a perfect pickup for them. Now number 5, the Giants are on the clock. I think they're going to take Caleb Downs. They need a safety. They really need to bolster up this defense. Just the pass rush was terrible last season. They just sucked all around. I feel like Caleb Downs can really bolster this defense. Because the safety is the heart of the defense. So I think this will really transform their whole defense. They have a great defensive line, so I don't think they really need to work on that. So I don't think they need to really have David Bailey or Ruben Bain. But yeah, moving on with the 6th pick, have the Browns taking Carnell Tate. They need a wide receiver for Shedeur or Dillon Gabriel. I prefer Shedeur, but that's just my opinion. But they really need a receiver. I mean, Jerry Jeudy had the most drops in the league last season, which is not good. Obviously it's not good. I was just watching some games of him, and he struggled for most of the season. He had a few good games, here and there, but he just really struggled, and I think Shedeur really needs another wide receiver, a young wide receiver with a great future. And I feel that Jerry Jeudy needs to get out of the Browns' locker room. So with the 7th pick, my Commanders are on the clock. Honestly, I think we're going to take David Bailey. It was either Jeremiah Love or David Bailey. Or Caleb Downs. Those were literally the guys, but I think David Bailey is the guy to take here. Now number 8, the Saints are on the clock. Could they take Sonny Styles? That's interesting. They do need a linebacker after Demario Davis left. I think I'm going to take him. Sonny Styles will be going to the Saints. Just it makes sense. He's the best player on the board. And yeah, it'll just be a great pickup for the Saints, They have a bright future, I'd say, with Tyler Shuck. Hopefully he can keep progressing well. He is a bit of an older quarterback, though, even though he was a rookie last season. But, it's 26. It's kind of old for a rookie, but, he played okay when he was there. I don't even know how I got to the offense. We were talking about defense, but this defense has got some great stars like Kool-Aid McKinstry. You got Jonas Sanker, Danny Stutzman. Some great pieces all around. I feel like you could really build with Sonny Styles. You could really build that defense. Number 9 on the clock. Let's go to here. Yeah, cornerbacks, Manchester Lane. They lost both of their Pro Bowl cornerbacks to the Rams, which is hilarious, to be honest. Yeah, that's actually hilarious. But they just really need a cornerback. They're going to get fried, probably by like the most mid receiver ever. If they have to play against it, like they probably would get like their corners would probably get fried by like Chimere DK. That's how bad it is. He was or Alec Iomanner, you know. It would just be really bad. Number 10, Bengals are on the clock. Do they go Dylan Thieneman here? I think they're gonna go Dylan Thieneman. He was a draft riser, you know. He was projected to be a second round pick, but after the combine, he literally boosted up the draft ranks, which was actually really surprising. You wouldn't expect someone like him, to like really go up, but he did. He really impressed at the combine. I loved what I saw from him. So I think this is a great pickup for the Bengals, and they really need help on the defensive side. So if they take a offensive player, I would be really pissed, because that would just be a very stupid decision all around. I mean, honestly, they do need offensive linemen, but I feel like your defense is more important right now. Now moving on to the Dolphins. I think they're still going to take a corner. I think they're going to take Jermon McCoy here with the 11th pick. They do need a corner. They could have taken Dylan Thieneman here after trading away Minkah Fitzpatrick, but I just think they really need a cornerback. Now number 12 on the clock. They need an edge rusher. Ruben Bain, best edge rusher on the board. I think the best edge rusher in the class. I just think those small arms really did not benefit him in the combine, like, at all. So, yeah. Number 13, the Rams are on the clock. They do need a tackle, and you have Spencer Fano, Monroe Freeling on here, and I honestly think Monroe Freeling's going to go here. Just protecting Matthew Stafford, at his age, him getting sacked is not the ideal possibility, that you'd want. So, they really need to protect their MVP quarterback, if they want to win this Super Bowl that their fans and the front office have expectations for next year. Now, the Ravens, this used to be the Raiders pick before they backed out of the trade for Max Crosby, which I think is stupid. But, whatever, their front office can do whatever they want. I did sign Trey Hendrickson. They do need a receiver, and do they take Mekhi Lemon? I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna take a receiver here. I think they're gonna take Vega Ione here. They're gonna take Vega Ione with the 14th pick. He is the best guard in the class. He played great for Penn State last year, even though they struggled terribly on offense. He still did great, and I think he's the best guard in this class. Number 15, the Bucs are on the clock. They're not taking Kenyon Sadiq. They're not taking Spencer Fano. So it's down to... They could take C.J. Allen here. I mean, it's the most ideal one. I think they will. Alright, now Jets from Indiana. Or Indianapolis, whatever. From Indiana Colts. The Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, that trade has not gone well for them. I mean, Sauce Gardner sucked with the Colts this season, but hey, he can come back. But anyway, with this pick, Jets are going to take a wide receiver. I think they're going to take Mekhi Lemon out of USC. Ideal pick here, I think Jordan Tyson is better than him, but other people don't, so hey, at the end of the day, you just got to think of what other people would do and not what you think you would do. Because you got to think from the perspective of the front office. I mean, the Jets are kind of a stupid front office, but this is still a great pick. 17, Detroit's on the clock, Spencer Fauna. It's easy. They need to protect Jared Goff. He's a pocket passer. He cannot scramble for his life. Like, he is terrible in the pocket. So I think protecting him is just the top priority. Number 18. The Vikings. Take Emmanuel McNeil Warren out of Toledo. They do need defensive linemen, so you could go like a Keldrick Folk. Could go Cade McDonald here. I don't think he's going to go up that. I think they're going to take Emmanuel McNeil Warren here. They do need a safety, and I feel like he's the best safety on the board. So, Kenyon Sadiq. They need an offensive engine for Bryce Young besides Tetairoa McMillan. And if Xavier Legette can get his shit together, then I think this could be a great offense, led with Chuba Hubbard. What's his name? It's the Brooks running back for Jonathan Brooks. Tetairoa McMillan, Xavier Legette, Jalen Coker, and Kenyon Sadiq. That is a great young lineup. Well, maybe not Chuba Hubbard. He's a little bit old for a running back, but he's still got some years left in him. But anyway, moving on. Dallas from Green Bay on the clock. I think here they're going to take Hayden McDonald. They do need a D lineman. I feel like this is the best D lineman on the board right now. So I think I'm going to take him here for the Cowboys. 21. Pittsburgh's on the clock. Do they do it? I think Tommy Castellanos. Yeah, great quarterback. I think they're going to take Diego Pop. No, I'm joking. I think they're just going to take Ty Simpson here. I'm not really sure about him, but, he was really great before he got all those injuries at the end of the season, so I think he can still be a great quarterback. I don't know about the NFL level. We'll have to just see him play. But I think Steelers, they just really need a quarterback. Like, this team is a quarterback away from a championship. It's that simple. Number 22, Chargers are on the clock. They probably will take... Dude, do they take Jordan Tyson here? I'm not sure if they could take Jordan Tyson here. I feel like this is the best option. I mean, Jordan Tyson has fallen to 22, which it's crazy. I think they will. I think they're going to take Jordan Tyson here. I mean, obvious pickup. If he falls this far, I mean, that's the best thing that you could grab. He's the best player that you could grab. Now, they do need an edge rusher. So, they're going to take Keldrick Folk here. Best edge rusher on the board right now. No disrespect to Akeem Massador, but I think Keldrick Folk is a little better. He's got more potential. Not Keldrick Folk. Akeem Massador's kind of he's a little bit, hold on. He's 24. No. Fudge. Okay. How do I go back? Yeah, undo this pick. Fudge. Why did I press that? I do think that the, freaking Cleveland Browns will take Caden Proctor. I mean, you look at Caden Proctor, he's like 6'7". Like, dude's huge, and I don't know how people are, like, passing up on him. I think he's a generational talent. Like, I don't think he will get anybody better than this in this draft class. I think he is honestly the best tackle in this class. I think he's better than Monroe Freeling. and Spencer Fano. I think he is the best tackle that we've seen in a long time, and I think he's going to be great for this team. Bears are on the clock. They could take Max Ihinakor. Not sure how to pronounce that name. Nachor. I don't know. They could also take Caleb Banks, which I think is also. So I think this is going to be their pick here. They do need a D lineman. Caleb Banks, great D lineman out of Florida. He can be a great piece for this Chicago defense. Number 26, Bills on the clock. Searched up Tom Brady, I think, earlier. Why did I search up Tom Brady? What am I looking for here? I got so sidetracked. Omar Cooper Jr. They honestly, I mean, you could have gone with Denzel Boston, but I feel like they're gonna draft a receiver anyway, and I feel like Omar Cooper Jr. is the best receiver on the board. No disrespect to Denzel Boston. I think they take T.J. Parker here. They do need an edge rusher. T.J. Parker's best edge rusher on the board right now. I don't think Akeem Mesidor is as good as people think he is. I think there's just a lot of players that are better than him. Okay. Texans are taking offensive linemen. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. They need offensive line badly. This is a perfect pick. I don't want to hear any argument. Number 29, Kansas City from LA. Now this is where I think they're going to take Denzel Boston out of Washington. Number 30, the Dolphins are on the clock. Now this is where I think they also go here. They draft Casey Concepcion. I feel like we will have two receivers go off the board in a row. I mean, the Dolphins need a receiver terribly bad. For Malik Willis. Number 31. I don't really know what to do with this pick. I think you could go Peter Woods here. Peter Woods is probably the best D lineman in this class, to be honest. He kind of just fell off because, he just fell down the draft boards because Clemson had a very mid-season, but I think he's still the best D lineman in this class. And the last pick, number 32. Yep. Oh, yeah, I was searching up Brandon. That's why. I thought I was searching up Tom Brady or something. But Brandon Sissy, the quarterback, or I don't know how to pronounce his name, so if I messed it up, my bad. But yeah, this is it. This is my draft. It's I'm gonna do like maybe one or two more, before the draft, just to really get most of the picks right, because a lot of these picks I'm not really sure about. Fourth, Jeremiah Love to the Titans, David Bailey to the Commanders, Caleb Downs to the Giants. Just most of these I'm very uncertain about, but hope you enjoyed this mock draft video. I will probably be getting out a UFC video maybe in the next few days. We'll also talk about some NBA stuff going on. We'll talk about March Madness too, so just look out for some of those videos, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.